Good afternoon. I'm Mike Perrone, CEO and co-founder of Social Sign. 5 years ago, I co-founded another company called Social Flow, which pioneered the use of predictive analytics and big data in helping publishers and brands optimize their social media audiences online. But then I thought, what about the rest of the world? What about the physical world that we spend all that time in every single day? How do they use social data? So I'm here today with my team members, Joe Andriolo and Jeff Lanta, to introduce our mobile platform, which corrects the economics of extending commercial Wi-Fi to your visitors based on a very simple yet powerful value proposition of extending free, high-quality, low-friction Wi-Fi access to your visitors on all their devices via them signing in with their social identity. And the result is the business or location can now understand the social demographics of their foot traffic. We've been fortunate enough to have some great beta customers over the last few months, from Nashville to Tokyo, and we're going to show you one of those right now. This is the Royal in New York City. It's 2 blocks south of Union Square, great bar, and I connected to the Wi-Fi network. Now, the first time we see a user, you sign up with Facebook, and we all know what that process is like, but essentially you sign up with Facebook, and you create a personal PIN. So go ahead and enter that personal PIN now. And you can see immediately that I'm prompted to like the Royal, the bar. And for us, this is a really important aspect of how you generate a valuable social audience for a physical business. Because these are customers. These are actual people in your store that are going to spend money. So we think that's pretty powerful. So go ahead and remind them. Okay. We're going to look very quickly at Facebook on the big screen. So we're going to see what that notification looks like. So I go ahead, I like the Royal, it's great, and then I come back. Thank you, Joe, very much. Second phone. So I come back to the Royal the next night. I enter the same exact PIN, and this PIN is the same no matter where you go. Come back up in a second. And essentially, what we wanted to do was show you guys that the messaging and personalization that's available online is now available offline in these physical stores. So I go ahead and I enter in my same PIN, and I get back eventually a really awesome message. So now, I'm not so much of a fan. Is this thing on? Anyway, needless to say, the whole point is the messaging related to the user is tailored based on the social dynamic. So let's go, what does the businesses get out of all this, right? So this is the dashboard. So it's the insight hub of your foot traffic. If you scroll down a little bit, so you begin to see, there I am, or my big user, and you get to see some basic profile information for effortless CRM, my name, my gender, where I come from, whether or not I have a social relationship with the venue or not. But the really critical point here is the interest graph on the right-hand side. For the first time, we're able to look at visitors in terms of social demographics to physical locations. And we think that's going to be pretty powerful. This is a platform. Platforms require creative people to do really cool things. So we're really looking forward to talking to all of you out there about the possibilities of what can be done here. I'd like to thank my team for their hard work and the families for their support. And that's it. Thank you very much.
So pretty interesting, you're exchanging Wi-Fi access for social presence, right?
Correct.
What are some of the other build-outs you would envision? Because once you get that initial, what are the follow-on steps to keep adding value?
So, I mean, we have our ideas, right? That's a great question. But for me, I think, for example, this bar, I bet the owner $20. I said, in 3 weeks, I'm going to know the best music for you to play. What do you think your customers want to hear? And he said some, edgy, alternative music through his own lens, right? And 3 weeks later, the answer was Lil Wayne, right? Pretty much everybody connects likes Lil Wayne, so just play Lil Wayne. And I think there's some really basic sort of environmental things you can do with the social graph. But furthermore, you have access now because they have great data connections, right? And I think when you think about earned media, which is the most valuable piece of marketing you could ever have, one of the easiest things you can do is give your visitors a strong data connection, because now they're taking Instagrams and you know, checking in and doing all this stuff. And you're not going to take a second Instagram if the first one fails, right? So I think there's a lot of value just in the base product, but we're really looking forward to things like effortless loyalty, right? Like, why do I need another ID and a plastic card and an RFID and a keychain and all this other nonsense when you just know me, right? And I think, you know, obviously online has, you know, contextual data and cookies and all these other things that help you do that. But I think if we just stop back and give the user a little more value at first, really great things can happen.
Let's get another question.
So this is really cool. I really like the mixing together of the physical world with the virtual world. The question would be, how many of your visitors in these bars actually are interested in having Wi-Fi? Right? And lots of people have got 3G, 4G, whatever else, right?
Okay. 2 is an awesome question. That was one of my thoughts originally when we thought about this idea. So we put in an alpha prototype in a Broadway theater in Manhattan, and we watched it for 6 months, right? And it was a really crude prototype. And it taught us a bunch of things. Most importantly, it taught us that without any marketing, you'll pick up 15% of your ambient population no matter what. With a little bit of marketing, you can bring that number up 50, 60%. And this is before the network effects of having other local businesses have it. Also, users, and we're all users, right? I hate paying for data. I've never had a great Wi-Fi experience. I travel all the time, like many of you do. And for me, it's just foolish and silly that we haven't solved this problem like we do restaurants or water or electricity or other utilities, right? And I think the answer is the 3G and 4G are great, but data plans are capped. There's exponential number of devices, wearable devices, watches, glasses, Google underwear. I mean, these things are going to come, and it's true, right? And I'm not going to get a data plan for my belly, right? It's just not going to happen. So we have these market conditions of an increasingly hungrier, data-driven, visitor. Service them and get something back for it. Get something that we as online folks have had for years, which is, instant, data when you walk in the door.
Agree.
Have you guys looked into what the value of the data is? Like, for example, could you go to a business and justify them getting a much faster connection?
Wow, you guys like to ask the best questions ever. Yes, so essentially, and this is where my prior experience plays a lot into it, right? So my last company, we really understand the value of social engagement, social metrics, right? And really the point of this is more about how does a physical business compete with the Economist and the AP and all these people that have this online content on social, right? So what they do is they go out and they try to do tweets and Facebooks and all this other stuff. And really, they should shift their focus to acquiring customers naturally in line with their activities that take place, in their stores. So, we run the math. We think that for an average small business, if they bought our Spot in the Box package, which is now available online, plug and play, $12.50 by play. We think that you end up in somewhere in the 15 cents to 20 cents for a social acquisition cost. That's the range we're thinking. And for me, that's like, the best deal you have for actually acquiring a social connection from a customer.
Okay. Well, thank you. Big round of applause.